South America, except the far north, and it grows worldwide. The cattail is one of nature's most bountiful food sources. Natives of the land knew its many values and used it long before explorers came. It's a good food source if one is lost, but doesn't need to be restricted to survival alone, as it equals or surpasses the taste of many garden vegetables. In spring and early summer, when the new plant appears, it can be harvested easily with a quick pull near the bottom of the stem. Commonly called Cossack asparagus, the young shoots of the inner core are tender and crisp when eaten raw. Try cooking this inner stem and serve it with butter or a cheese sauce. It can be cut into your salad or added to dishes such as chop suey or chow mein. This tangy taste sensation will enhance the flavor. It's delicious. Some farmers like to leave beautiful natural sloughs and bluffs on their farm. The marsh is a source of water and a natural means of keeping groundwater supplies replenished. It's a plant-rich system that science has discovered can remove pesticide and fertilizer buildup and cleanse water of many other contaminating substances. Cattail are one of the leaders in this cleansing process. Birds and animals know the value of cattail. It's home to the blackbirds, and they know how to use last year's leaves to weave their nest between its stalks. Early in the season, a green husk is formed. Gather the green tails just before they shed this protective sheath. Remove it and cook immediately to preserve their flavor. They not only harvest like corn on the cob, but taste and smell like corn on the cob. They can also be scraped from the cob and eaten like corn kernels. Everyone is familiar with the brown spearhead of the cattail. They are often sprayed and used as a floral decoration. In early summer, golden pollen heads appear. This nutritious pollen can be gathered simply by putting a bag under it, bending the plant and shaking the pollen into the bag, taking care not to break the plant. If you sift this material, it will produce a powder as fine as talcum. When mixed half and half with grain flour, it produces biscuits, pancakes, and muffins of a golden color and delectable taste. In a time when we're looking for ways and means to cut our food bill and still maintain good nutrition, the bountiful cattail are waiting. Is almost solid starch, with the same amount of protein as rice and corn, but less fat. They are fairly easy to pull or dig out. They're delicious and nutritious, raw, baked, roasted in the glowing embers of a campfire, or briefly boiled. They can also be dried and will serve as a flour substitute. Located on the rootstock, these new sprouts, when washed and boiled, can be served with butter and have a sweet taste that will complement any meat dish. Or harvest them before they break ground. Bottle and cover with a hot vinegar solution. Store for a few weeks and serve as an appetizing pickle. A good cook will want to experiment with different recipes for these tender, nourishing shoots. Muskrats eat the starchy underground roots. The shoots, when they first appear in the spring, are sought by moose and elk. Even in winter, new shoots can be obtained by chopping through the ice. The muskrat is very familiar with this wonderful plant. It makes its home of the leaves and stalks and grows fat and healthy on its roots, winter and summer. He sure came up with those a lot easier than I did. Cattail have tangled roots just below the ground surface. A small area of cattail swamp will produce enough roots to make a good quantity of flour. One way of extracting the starch or flour is to wash and dehair the roots, mash them and soak in a container of water, stirring occasionally to loosen the starch from the fibers. When the roots look bare and the water is cloudy, let the container stand overnight. The starch will settle to the bottom and you can pour off the excess water and scoop out the thick dough for roasting, baking, or boiling. This, mixed half and half with grain flour, will make savory breads and cookies. Or the roots can be peeled, dried, and ground into flour, extracting the fibers. This flour can be used to thicken stews, soups, and gravies. This little chipmunk has the right idea. He's going to insulate his winter den and will also be able to eat the seeds during the long winter. This material has been used to line shoes to prevent frostbite. At one time it was used by natives and early settlers to caulk walls and as a stuffing for pillows, mattresses, and toys. The fall seed head makes excellent tinder material. Break this up and add a few pieces of birch bark, dry leaves, or twigs. Then, even with a flint and steel, it's a simple, quick way to start a fire. For centuries, natives have collected cattail leaves, dried them thoroughly, then to make them pliable, soaked them in water and wove them into matting or baskets. An ingenious teacher has reintroduced this ancient craft to her pupils. it's been an inexpensive way to teach them to weave and to learn about this miraculous plant. And if this lesson sparks their interest in the home of the cattail, it will lead them to the wonders and mystery of the marsh and its inhabitants.